up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Yet another e-bike on the channel. This is the Mitaku Cybertrack 100. I know that's a mouthful, but it's a pretty sick e-bike. But before we get into the breakdown and review of the bike, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the unboxing experience, which in my opinion, it's probably one of the best unboxing experiences with a brand new bike that I've seen in a very long time. So let's overlay some of the footage right now and talk a little bit about it. All right, as you can see here on the footage, when you open up the flap, you have this QR code, and the QR code will allow you to be able to scan that and be able to check out how to build this bike up on your own at home. It already comes 75% pre-built, so all you have to do is put on the front wheel, the handlebars, tighten down all the bolts, and just check the brakes. You wanna make sure everything is absolutely perfect. And as you see here on the screen, it comes with a lot of the extra accessories that you have to put on. Now, what's really cool about this as well is it comes with all the tools needed to be able to build this bike. Came with the wrench, came with the Allen keys, as well as a screwdriver, just in case you want to put reflectors on the handlebar and on the seat. I left the ones on the wheels themselves because that's basically what I plan on keeping on here. This bike is basically gonna be for my wife when it's all said and done, because this bike's a little bit too small for me. But the installation process is pretty straightforward. You take the rotor, you wanna pop it onto the hub as you see here, and use all the screws. You wanna tighten them in a cross pattern, not one by one next to each other, otherwise it just will never lay flush. You wanna do the same thing with the handlebars. There's only 4 Allen bolts on the handlebars, so you do the same thing, cross pattern there, and it makes the front plate lay flush, versus some people like to do the top ones or the bottom ones, and then it just leaves too much of a gap either on the top or the bottom, and you'll actually risk some type of slipping. So basically the installation process is pretty straightforward from there. The pedals, really easy because you have that wrench, and yeah, you just get on the bike and start shredding. The battery does take about 3 hours to set up and charge, and after that, you're ready to go. Now, before we jump into my actual thoughts of the bike and the quality and basically the whole build of it in general, we're going to go for a ride and kind of talk about what to expect when you jump on the bike, because it is a little bit of a learning curve if you've never ridden an electric bike. But this bike is at the perfect price point just in case anybody wants to get into the electric bike market but doesn't want to dump a ton of money into it. All right, as you can see here on the display, there's a bunch of zeros. So these zeros right here mean I'm not moving, 0 miles per hour, and the other 0 means no pedal assist. So as I'm pedaling right now, it feels like a pretty standard bike. There really is no resistance. I ride electric skateboards and I can tell the resistance on electric skateboard. This one feels pretty standard. So I'm gonna shift up a little bit. You see the speed right there, it says 7 miles per hour. Just a little bit easier right here. So you can get it to 10 miles per hour, and it feels like a normal bike right now. Now, as you go a little bit further, you can click these plus or minus. So right now it's sitting in 0. We're gonna make a U-turn and hit +1. +1 will give us a little bit of a pedal assist through this process. Now we'll hit the +1. Now, as soon as I start to pedal, I'll get about 1/4 of a pedal and you'll see the bike will just start to kind of go a little bit faster. Here we go. See, automatically just wants to kind of go. And it lets you know where it stands in that level right next to the 1. So we're chilling in 1 right now. Just a little bit extra help when I'm pedaling. Now sitting at level 2, it's gonna be that same bit of jolt, maybe a little bit more. Yep, straight to 7 miles per hour, 8 miles per hour, no problem. 9.5, 9.6, 10 mile an hour, no issues at all. Now we take it to level 3. Like I said, each step forward, you're gonna have a little bit more of a jolt in the initial pedal, and then you're gonna be going pretty fast. Here we go. Over 10 mile an hour, no problems. Chilling, 12 miles per hour, casual pedal. Now we're gonna take up a notch. Notch number 4. Same exact thing as the first 3. It's gonna be a little bit of a jolt. Yep, and just wants to go. Right away, we're at 13 miles per hour. 15. Now level 4, it held at 15 miles per hour for a pretty long period. I mean, this is a pretty big parking lot and I'm riding on the smoothest section. We're gonna take it up to number 5. We're gonna try to see if we can get it above the 20 mile an hour rating that I saw on the actual manual. Here we go. Woo! so we got to 23 miles per hour, no problem on that short stretch. So I'm gonna hit it a diagonal from corner to corner. Should be able to get over 23 miles per hour, and that'll be the goal. So hopefully we hit 25, and then we're gonna do straight throttle after this. All right, here we go. Woo, 26. Woo. It's absolutely insane that this thing can go 26 miles per hour under pedal assist. So let's see what we can get at just the throttle. And we're gonna go from corner to corner again. All right, corner to corner from a dead stop. Here we go. All right, corner to corner at a dead stop, averaging about 20 miles per hour. Now with just using the throttle itself, you do lose range. So it goes about 40 miles of range with just using the throttle, 50 miles if you use the pedal assist. So yeah, I think this is just a great commuter bike in general. Now, since we were just talking about the pedal assist, we'll talk a little bit more about the electric motor in the back. It's a Bafang system, 350 watt motor, gets you all the torque you need. It is a 21 gear system. So it's a pretty standard Shimano system, especially if you're looking for this to be a commuter style bike going on a gravel terrain. This is a bike that I would not recommend basically as your everyday mountain bike. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as we get further in the video, and I'll talk to you why I believe it is not your everyday mountain bike. This is more just hitting the gravel trail, maybe some bumps and jumps, maybe not jumps, but more like bumps and gravel, you know, routes and stuff like that. So moving up to the drivetrain, the pedals. The pedals are probably one of the first things I would switch out if I was to buy this bike. The pedals are really, really small. That's one thing that I think is a big factor. You want to have good foot placement. So as you can see here, it's pretty small comparative to my hand. Now when I put my foot on there, you want a lot of platform for your foot to sit on a pedal. So a nice wide pedal will definitely give you a lot more grip and security when you're riding your bike. So mentally, as I compare this bike to like my in-laws bike that they recently just got, they spent about $700 to $800, same price range, not an electric bike though, and it didn't come with a quick release. A quick release is actually a really nice feature to have on a bike just in case you're switching riders. So if you're buying this bike as a couple, husband and wife, and you want to be able to interchange who wants to ride it, you can actually just take this quick release and move the seat up or down to where you want it. Now the frame is nice. It does have some internal cables, so the internal cables are actually the electric motor cables versus all the other cables kind of run on the exterior of the bike. I think it would have been a nice touch if everything ran on the inside, because this is a very, very sleek looking frame. Internal headset they got going on here. All right, moving on to the front of the bike, you have a disc brake setup. Pretty standard for this price range as far as the type of brakes you see on here. They do have okay grips, I would say. I mean, I actually would recommend switching them out, because if you're going to take long rides, you're going to want something a little softer, a little bit more of a softer feel on the hands, because if you're taking a long ride, these will affect your hands. And I understand if you're taking rides around the neighborhood, it won't bother you, but if you're taking rides of 15, 20, or 30 miles on a bike, this and the seat will definitely be affected, no matter what bike you have, whether it's in this price range or $5,000 price range. You want to make sure you have good grips and a good seat, because it's going to make the ride that much more enjoyable. Now the price point is perfect, $799, and if you use the coupon right below the little price tag there, it gets you another $50 off. Link in the description below will take you there. But the price point, I think, is probably the best thing about this bike. The things I don't like about it, I told you before, were the grips, the seat, and the pedals. Now these are all very, you know, cheap items, not just for them to have, you know, skimped out on, but cheap items for you to repair in general yourself. Kind of customize the bike to make it your own in general. Because at the end of the day, you don't want a stock bike that everybody else out there has. You want to kind of differentiate yourself from everyone else. So maybe pick yourself up a seat, set of grips, set of pedals, and this bike could be good to go. But yeah, this is the Mataku Cybertrack 100, all in its glory. This is an unboxing review. hopefully you guys enjoyed the experience and enjoyed this bike in general. If you guys are interested in any other information about this bike, link in the description below will take you there. I have a handful of other e-bike reviews that are coming in the next few days, so you do not want to miss out on those. So if you guys are into this type of content and you're new around here, consider subscribing. I try to do videos like this on a regular basis. With that being said, if you guys like this video, drop a like. If you love it, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one.